Hello everyone, I am Laethas and welcome back to another video, and I know it has been a long time, but here I have my manga haul for the month of November 2018, and let's just get right into the video. And first off, I picked up something that I have been sort of eyeing for a little bit now, and that is Dragon Ball. That time I got reincarnated as Yamcha, and I'm sure many of you have heard of this. I think a lot of people have sort of picked this up, and it's basically just a parody of Dragon Ball and isekai shows where a guy gets reincarnated as Yamcha, and he does what he can to try and make Yamcha not super freaking weak. And you can see here from Yamcha's most famous scene, "From the crater he rises, the legend is born." A lot of you probably know exactly what that is in reference to, but this is more just a fun piece. If you don't really know Dragon Ball, specifically Z, you're probably not going to enjoy this as much as someone who has read it. As a matter of fact, I would advise probably not picking this up unless you have read Dragon Ball, specifically the Z portion again, and have liked it. But yeah, it is kind of fun, kind of wacky, kind of dumb and fun, but not really that great overall, but it's still fun to read, and it's definitely an interesting manga to exist, and I am happy that it was published in English. Next up, I have Black Torch Volume 2. Not really a whole lot to say about this series. This is the second of 5 volumes that are coming out. Really enjoyed the first volume. Didn't, like, explode my mind into a million pieces, but I definitely liked it. Want to see where it goes, but only 5 volumes, so I have no problem getting the rest of the series and just binging it then. But I really do like what they've done with the colors on the spines. The first one was red. This one is kind of like a really bright yellow, but yeah, Black Torch Volume 2. Next up, I have Volumes 2, 3, 4, and 5 of Spell of Desire, and that does complete the entire series. This is, of course, another sort of smutty josei romance. This is by the same creator as Midnight Secretary, so if you've read that, you probably know what is going to go on in this series, but yeah, this is a smutty romance. That's basically what it is. Nothing more, nothing special. I think I enjoyed this one more than Midnight Secretary, but I can't really say because I don't remember a whole lot about Midnight Secretary, because these really are just smutty romances. That's what they are. They're nothing more. And if that's what you're looking for, I would recommend picking up this series, but if you're not into that, then I might give this one a pass, but very, enjoyable smutty romance if that is what you are looking for. Next up, I picked up several volumes of a series I just recently got back into, and that is World Trigger. So here I have Volume 1, or not 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So, this is a series I haven't picked up any volumes of in a while, and, wow, this is not going to be the easiest to sort. There are too many volumes, but, yeah. I have been enjoying World Trigger. I like the way the combat system works. It's very much not like a lot of other series that I've read. Maybe I just haven't read enough, but it definitely focuses on more of that tactical aspect of sort of fights and stuff. You have to outwit your opponent. Strength alone will not carry you to victory. You also have to strategize, think with your team, sort of think about what the enemy is going to be thinking about you. And it also is very interesting because it's not just one-off battles for the most part. It is a series of battles that the characters will, sort of train in. Not really in, like, the real world, but when they're sort of training with each other, it's not just, oh, X beat Y, so X is stronger than Y. No, the characters have, like, 10 or 20 round battles. Sometimes they tie each other in some of them, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, and it's basically, sometimes, like, one character will beat a character like 3 times, but they'll lose 7. So it's very much not like binary. One battle decides who's stronger and who's not stronger, and because you have more battles, more chances, more interactions, you have more leveling sort of like tiers of how strong someone is compared to someone else, as opposed to it just being a one and done fight. You get to see characters progress, because maybe instead of winning only 3 times, the next time they fight them, they win like 6 times against this other person. So you can really see growth in the characters, even though they're just fighting the same opponents, because of the way they battle each other. And as you fight the other opponents, you will win or draw, or you just get better. Sort of in that way, even though you're fighting the same opponent, you can see characters improve. And I really like that about the series, and it just came off of hiatus in Japan. So yeah, I'm really excited to get back into this series, and I really do enjoy it. And if you're looking for a shonen series, I'd highly recommend World Trigger. Next up, I have Volume 3 of Dead Dead Demons Destruction, and that is an Inio Asano series, as you can see right there at the bottom. I have faith in Inio Asano. I've liked every single one of his works I have read thus far, so I have no problems just waiting for it all to complete and then reading it then. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. I really like the volume quality on these books that have, you know, really nice paper. I'm always a sucker for French flaps. I love those. They are more expensive than the average oversized Viz volume at $15, but these ones are very nice. And I love Inio Asano, so I'm going to continue to pick this series up. Next, I have volumes 6 and 7 of Tokyo Ghoul Re. I really liked Tokyo Ghoul. I'm just going to wait for the Re portion to finish before I start reading it. I really have, you know, a strong sense that I will like this series, because I liked the original, and I've kind of read a little bit about the premise of Re, and it's definitely very interesting to me, and I want to see where it goes. But yeah, it's more Tokyo Ghoul, but slightly different. Yeah, some people criticize it, because why not just have it Tokyo Ghoul all the way through? Why you gotta have the Re in there? But you know, maybe I'll weigh in on that conversation once the series has completed and I have read it, because it is only 16 volumes long, and once that 16th volume comes out, I will read the series. But that is the next 2 volumes of Tokyo Ghoul Re. Next up, I have volumes 4 and 5 of Chiro the Star Project, and I think this series is just going to be, I'm going to read a volume, and before I buy the next one, because, you know, I'm not quite sure if I like it or not, but what's probably going to end up happening is I'm going to like it just enough to continue buying volume after volume until I've completed the whole series. But it definitely reminds me of Skip Beat, which is a series I really enjoy. But yeah, if you're looking for a shoujo-y series similar to Skip Beat, then Chiro Star Project is definitely one I would recommend. I've continued to read the series. You know, I haven't stopped picking it up yet, and I think I'm liking it more and more as the series goes on. But if you're a fan of Skip Beat, this is definitely a series I would recommend. Or if you're just interested in manhwas instead of just regular manga, so Korean series, then, you know, this is one to go with. Been enjoying it thus far. Probably going to end up picking up the whole series at some point. But yeah, Chiro Star Project, volumes 4 and 5. Next up, I have volume 2 of Konohana Kitan, and this is just kind of a fun series about hot springs. I don't really need to binge this one. It's kind of short, interconnected stories about just these little fox girls, you know, keeping an inn and the guests, you know, keeping them happy, and it's about the interactions between them and the many guests that they end up having. But it's just kind of, you know, short and sweet, has some, like, philosophical things in it. Nothing ridiculous or overly contemplative, but I do enjoy it, though keep in mind there are boobs in this series, so yes, there is nudity, so be aware, although the tag is kind of strange. I've never seen it described that way, but yes, I can't tell if my camera picked that up, but yeah. That's an interesting way to describe something, but yeah, Konohana Kitan Volume 2. Next, I have Blue by Kiriko Nananan, and this is a Ponemon series. I have read this. It was okay. I didn't pay very much for it. The book is kind of damaged up here in the corner, as you might be able to see. I don't feel like the author did a very good job at distinguishing characters from other characters, especially because most of the series is extremely high contrast with either totally black or totally white. Not really too many mid-tones in there, so it was kind of hard to distinguish what character was what. And I did not pay full price on that boy. Would not recommend that if you are in the US, because that is pricey. I did not pay that much for this series. But yeah, Blue was okay. I probably would not go out of your way to pick it up. It was just alright. Next, I have The Quest for the Missing Girl by Jiro Taniguchi. I read The Ice Wanderer a while ago, and so I decided to pick up another work by his, and so I chose The Quest for the Missing Girl, another single-volume series, but this one I have not read yet, so I can't really say much about it, but Ponemon does release some very nice quality volumes, though the retail price is quite high, so maybe wait for it to be a little cheaper than retail to pick these up, though they are quite nice. They do have French flaps, which I always like, but yeah, The Quest for the Missing Girl by Jiro Taniguchi, put out by Ponemon, also known as Fanfare. Next I have Kiss in White Lily for My Dearest Girl, Volume 7. This is just kind of a sweet shoujo ai with a bunch of different girl-girl romances. I haven't read this volume in particular yet because I got it today, but yeah, I like to read these volume to volume, and more shoujo ai is always good, more yuri is always good. This isn't one of my more favorite series, but if you're the kind of person that likes seeing multiple girl-girl relationships, then Kiss in White Lily for My Dearest Girl is one I would recommend picking up. Especially since, you know, maybe if you're wanting to try girl-girl romance series, this might be one to pick up because it's not really very steamy like some other titles are. So, yeah, Kiss in White Lily for My Dearest Girl, Volume 7. Next I have Murcielago, Volume 8, which I also got today. This is a high-action series. I really liked what I've read so far. This one is still in its plastic wrap, but really gory, really sexual, just, it's crazy. That's what it is. If you're looking for something fun, wild, then this might be one to pick up. Yeah, I can't really say much more about it. It's crazy, it's wild. If you want something insane, definitely pick it up. It's not weird in the way that something like Velveteen and Mandala is weird, but it's wacky and crazy, and wild shenanigans take place. Next I have Sekirei Omnibus Volume 6. Sekirei is a series I have watched both anime for. I do enjoy it, but yeah, I'm just waiting for the rest of the series to come out. I've read the first Omnibus volume, and I did like it in the manga format, so I'm just waiting for the series to complete to read the whole thing. But yeah, it is a battle series featuring busty girls for the most part, though there are some different Sekirei is what they are called. Some have different figures, but for the most part, this is what you get. So if that turns you off, then I would stick clear of this series. But yeah, Sekirei Volume 6. It's a fun battle series, unless you are turned off by sort of the premise of the series itself. Next, I have the first 2 volumes of Showa, A History of Japan. So these span the years from 1926 to 1944. This is a historical account by Shigeru Mizuki of the Showa era of Japan. The final 2 volumes complete the series, and it does sort of completely adapt the Showa era of Japan in these 4 books drawn in quarterly. I have read the first one. I have not read the second one, but I am interested to get into it. Very historically accurate, almost textbook-like to a degree, so not for everyone, but if you are into history, and you want to see it told sort of graphically, then this might be a series you want to pick up, because from my understanding, it does go through a lot of events and portrays them pretty accurately. Yeah, Showa: A History of Japan by Shigeru Mizuki, Omnibus Volumes 1 and 2, from 1926 to 1944. Next I have Frau Faust Volume 5, this of course being the series by the same creator as the ancient Magus Bride, but this 5th volume is the final volume, so if you like the ancient Magus Bride, this series is over and complete at 5 volumes. As you can see, it says final volume right there, but I got this very recently. I haven't gotten the time to get into the rest of the series, but I have read the first volume, did very much enjoy that, and I am excited to see what the completion of the series will hold. But yeah, it is by Korei Yamazaki, the same creator as the ancient Magus Bride, so if you're looking for another series by her, this is probably a good one to pick up, because it does feel very, very similar to that. Next I have Battle Angel Alita, Holy Knight, and Other Stories. This is just sort of a short stories volume to accompany Battle Angel Alita, and it is, of course, in this deluxe edition that Kodansha has released for the other volumes of the series. And now that I have the complete original Battle Angel Alita, plus the bonus stories, I will be taking a crack at the rest of Battle Angel Alita. Loved what I read in the first omnibus. Cannot wait to read more. Though this one is a lot thinner than the other books, so that is a little unfortunate, because it's still priced the same, but it's still great quality, and the books are large, and the paper is great for the artwork. The inks are extremely dark, and they just pop really, really well, so I really do like the builds of these books, and just happy to finally have the entire series. But yeah, Battle Angel Alita, Holy Knight, and Other Stories. Next, I have some more manga published by Gen Manga, and that is Sorako, Anomal, and Stones of Power. So, in my last haul, I got some Gen Manga, and so I enjoyed those, and I decided to pick up more, and I went with Sorako, Anomal, and Stones of Power. There are not too many more left to pick up that I am interested in, but I did enjoy all of these. Stones of Power was kind of okay, but it was good enough to where, you know, I liked reading it. It had some interesting things and ideas, but overall I'd say that is the least good out of all of these. But I really enjoyed Sorako, and I really enjoyed Anomal, so I would definitely recommend picking up those two if you can find them, because I'm not exactly sure how exactly Gen went about printing these. I'm not sure if Gen, the company, is bankrupt or not, or if it's still around, but they still have a website. I think you can find a lot of the series on Amazon, but yeah, Gen Manga got Anomal, Sorako, and Stones of Power, and I did enjoy each of them, though I especially liked Anomal and Sorako. Next up, I picked up a series I have been waiting for a while. In another one of my videos, I think my Q&A answers, I actually had this as one of the series I wanted to see licensed and published in English, so maybe I happen to be a manga prophet or something, but here it is, Inside Mari by Denpa Books, or Denpa Inc. Super happy to have this in English. Excellent work by Shuzo Oshimi. I highly recommend picking this up. And these volumes are especially nice. The paper is of excellent quality. They have French flaps, and let me see if I can do this well. Ooh. There we are. So they've done an excellent job with the build on this book, an excellent quality book for just your typical oversized volume price of $13. So definitely go pick this series up. Definitely support Denpa Books. Love seeing this series in print in English, and if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend doing so, especially if you're an Oshimi fan. He is an excellent writer and drawer, and I love this work. I definitely think you should read it, and I'm super happy that we finally have it in English, and so maybe some more of my Most Wanted series will be coming at some point soon. But yeah, love Inside Mari, excellent story, definitely recommend picking it up. Next up, I have The Ancient Magus Bride Supplement Volume 1, and this is just kind of like annotated notes that go along with the different volumes and the different panels of the series, so kind of a character Bible-esque type thing, information guide. It's in that same vein of types of series, but yeah, I think these are pretty cool, and for series that I like, I will definitely be picking up these types of sort of little collectible things that you know, have some information in them, have more sort of lore type stuff in them, because I do like looking at sort of the lore and stuff and sort of different interpretations of things. But yeah, Ancient Magus Bride Supplement 1, if you're a big Ancient Magus Bride fan, this might be something you want to look into. But yeah, more Ancient Magus Bride, love the series, it is excellent. I still need to watch the anime by Wit Studio, but that'll happen at some point in time. But here we have just Supplement Volume 1, and there's a second one coming out a little bit later. But yeah, Ancient Magus Bride Supplement 1. Next I have Nurse Hitomi's Monster Infirmary Volume 8. I have not read this yet, but I can definitely say without a doubt that I can 100% recommend Nurse Hitomi's Monster Infirmary to every single one of you out there. This is an excellent series that I do not see enough of, and it's just extremely fascinating. And Shaco, one of the smartest people building stories right now. The way he is able to blend everything together, have it make sense, have it be like extremely well thought out and planned, it's incredible. He's excellent at writing stories, and it shows in Nurse Hitomi's Monster Infirmary. Highly recommend you checking it out. It is very well written, very smartly written, and highly recommend checking it out if you have not done so already. Next I have To Love Ru Darkness Volume 7. I am waiting just for To Love Ru to finish up so I can read that and then get into more Darkness, but I like To Love Ru. It's fun, it's funny, it's comical. So I just decided to start picking up Darkness. I have faith that I will like this series, because I have liked this series a lot up until now. It's just fun and comedic, and I definitely like the way the story is written. I do hear that Darkness is definitely different than the original, but I don't imagine it can be so different to the point of me not liking it, or at least so different in a direction I don't like that I will end up not liking it, because it's always possible that it changes in a way that I much prefer, in which case that's just beneficial to me. But yeah, interested to see what Darkness is all about, but gotta get through the original first. But I am definitely enjoying that. So here we have Volume 7 of Darkness. Next up, I have Nameless Asterism Volume 3. This is a 5-volume long series, so almost complete. I've decided to just finish the whole series before reading it. I've heard some good things. I cannot speak today. Some days my voice just doesn't work, or my brain and my mouth do not communicate very well. But here we have Nameless Asterism Volume 3 of 5 volumes. I hear it got axed or has a rushed ending, so that's a little unfortunate. But I have heard some things about the series that, you know, would make me think I'm going to enjoy it, and it's only 5 volumes long, so it's not a very big investment for me to make into a series. But yeah, Volume 3 for Nameless Asterism. Next I have Volume 5 of Yokai Girls. It's exactly what you would expect it to be. It's a Monster Girl series with Yokai Girls. That's what it is. If you're interested in that, I would recommend picking it up. This one focuses, much like a lot of other series, on the comedy aspect of things, and so if you know what you want in a series, you'll know if you want to pick up this series or not. But yeah, it is funny. I do enjoy it. But yeah, Yokai Girls Volume 5. Also happy to see the Ghost Ship imprints. Hope they release some more titles for it. I know they have announced somewhat recently that they have some new titles for the series, or a new title for the sort of imprint or line. But yeah, love seeing imprints, and I hope that the imprint is selling well, or at least differentiating itself from what 7 Seas typically produces. But Yokai Girls Volume 5. And last but certainly not least, we have Devilman The Classic Collection Volume 2. I think the Classic Collections need to be banned from my hauls, because I will talk ad nauseum about these things and how I think they are excellent. The only thing that could possibly make these things better, in my eyes, is if they were sewn in as opposed to glued, as you can see right there along the spine. But the gluing doesn't matter. The books are built extremely well, and for the amount of story you get, this is a $30 volume, and you get over 600 pages, so that's like over 3 volumes of story. Like, that is excellent for the quality. That would just be excellent for, like, a regular book, but considering this is a hardcover of amazing quality, it's just an absolute steal, especially for a series as coveted, as critically acclaimed as Devilman is. But yeah, love these classic collections. Cannot wait for 7 Seas to announce some new titles for the line, because we only have 4 titles announced for the line thus far, but want to see what else they pick up. I can finally get into the original now that it is complete. But yeah, love the classic collections. Want them to sell well. I want more series in them, because these books are just amazing. There's really no other way to put it. And that'll do it for my manga haul for the month of November 2018. If you have any, questions, comments, concerns about the channel or the series mentioned, you can leave those down in the comments below, as well as any other recommendations, thoughts about the series that I hauled this month. Have you picked them up? Did you enjoy them? Did you not enjoy them? Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions down there in the comments section down below. I love reading comments, especially sort of the well thought out and, well expressed ones are especially interesting for me to read, and I really do like those. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and share, and if you'd like to keep up to date with all of my content, you can follow me on Twitter or subscribe to the channel and ring that notifications bell. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I am Laethas. Goodbye.